bad bitch, I'm a bad bitch, one.
I was in the track kicking doors and I'm just being honest. If you want smoke, then we cook niggas up like an omelet, I'm just being honest. Throw me a 60 if I go to Magic or Honest, I'm just being honest. I keep a stick or a blicky in case it gets sticky, I'm just being honest. She know that I'm with it, I'm having this chicken, this trick, and I'm just being honest. Who really getting it, be honest? Hey, posture be giving, be honest. She real like a pint, I got rats in the bank and these bitches be hooked like finest. I up in my rank cause I got niggas spank niggas, shh.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Doing good.
Happy 2026.
Yes, happy 2026.
Hi, Athena. Hi, pretty girl.
Entrance already. She's been
what?
She's been rowdy all day. She's making her grand entrance already.
Really? Dude, Deuce has been like having such a freaking attitude. It's not even funny. But like things that like I don't know, it's funny because it's very much like that of like a teenager. Like he'll look at me if I'm telling him to like stop doing something, or when I'm at Crystal's house, he'll get like pretty rowdy. And like if the dogs that are there are like napping or aren't like in a playful mood or whatever, you know, he'll start to like bark at them, and like obviously like inside barking, like low grumbles, whatever, you're a dog, but like you don't need to like full on bark.
Like throwing a fit.
Yeah, exactly. Like play with me. And then when I'm sitting there telling him like no, he literally gives me the most defiant look and like starts grumbling at me like I'm not listening to you, you know? So I don't know if this is just like a normal attitude to have around year one because his birthday's in like 9 days, but yeah, he's definitely giving me some tude.
Yeah, Athena and are like right in the same age range because she'll be 1 in like the first week of February.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like she knows her commands. She'll look at me the moment I say them and kind of like you can see her deciding on whether she wants to.
Exactly.
She's like, no, and then just floats away.
Yeah. How old is
supposed to have?
Yeah, particularly that for sure. Yeah. Alyssa, how old is your dog again? I feel like 4 or 5.
No, oh my gosh, I wish, but he's gonna be 8 in June.
Oh,
he's
okay,
7.
okay.
Yeah. But I swear, like everything you guys just said, like what I heard, he still does the same stuff. Like he acts so much like a puppy. Yeah, he's a pit bull, and he's just definitely has an attitude. Like he lets it be known if he does not like what you asked of him to do. Like it, like we'll be on the couch getting ready to watch TV, and he has like very specific spots that he wants to be on, like on the couch, and like if he's taking up our space, we'll be like, hey, you need to move here, and try to get him to like a different spot on the couch. And not even kicking him off the couch, but he doesn't like it, and he'll just jump down and he'll like go in the bedroom and lay on the bed. He's like, well, screw you guys, like that's not where I wanted to be, so bye.
Athena just kind of like flops over. If like we tell her to move, she'll go no.
Just his body,
Yeah.
Us. Like, did I move over enough? No, you didn't. You're 60 pounds and like 4 feet tall. No, you didn't.
That's so funny. Yeah, and it's really funny just because like he is pretty good with his commands and stuff like that. And like we were talking about Ashlyn, like you know, like on walks and stuff like that. Like he stays around us. You know, if he runs forward, he always makes sure to like come back, make sure we're still there, goes forward, does that whole thing. And I don't know, it's funny to see like where he picks and chooses to like be a smart dog. And I feel like he's just dopey, or I feel like we've talked about it, and Michael and I, and it's like he has these like street smarts, but he doesn't have like, or he has book smarts, but he doesn't have like street smarts. You know what I mean? Like the common sense is just not there.
No, yeah. We're still
don't know how you say that, but
I'm like, you can't just be like jetting across whenever you see something that, like the other day I was letting her outside to go on a walk. She sees 2 golden retrievers across the street that she's seen plenty of times before, but she's never like been face to face with. She nearly takes my arm off and
Oh
like
my gosh.
bolts right
Oh
across
my
the street.
gosh.
And like she's barking the whole way, but she gets face to face with this dog and then just stops and like just does like the excited little sniff down. And that was
exactly.
Right.
Like, so sorry, so
It was
sorry.
my
I'm
shoulder.
sure you had a heart
And he
attack,
was
though.
really cool about it. Thank God. He was like, "Oh, I've been wanting our dogs to meet for a while now. Like,
Oh,
I
cute.
feel like we need to get it out of their systems." And I was like, "Okay,
Thank God.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
she's
because you
not
never
a
know.
dog. Yeah, no, and like
Yeah,
she
you
can
never know with certain like dog
really
people
feel
or
towards you.
Yeah.
or people in general, just like how they feel about like a dog running up to them or whatever. And
Right.
I don't know, I feel like for the most part, like you can, I don't know, obviously it can be different, but like you can sense like when a dog is like, oh, this is a friendly approach or this is not a friendly approach,
It's not a friendly one, yeah.
Yeah.
We only ever had that once with Athena, and it was pretty clear right off the bat. And I was like, no, like
not doing that.
a lamb scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I
And
can't
then
even
like
believe
German
it.
Shepherds or like even like my kind of dog, like if anything happens, like I always try not to put him in situations like where he's
Exactly.
Yes.
you know, where it's gonna be iffy just because he's gonna be the one to be blamed if like anything happens,
course.
you know.
Which sucks, and I hate that so much. But
I
it's
know.
really funny too, because it's like Crystal's dogs, right? Of the Pipples. And sweetest, like most loving, like gentlest girls ever, but like they're very protective of anybody coming up to the house. Like they're one of those dogs that's like I've been going there for how many months now, since like September, and like it's still full on like you know, like right when I get there. Obviously they settle after a few moments, but yeah, it's like any like it's kind of almost like you can have that guard dog or you can kind of have that lay down and I'm going to be buddy buddy and friend dog with certain people. You know, I feel like you can't really force them to be both. Especially pit bulls, you know what I mean, where they're meant to either like guard protect or be like that family dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, always, I guess, always a training work in progress with. I love all 3 of those dogs, but I'll tell you sometimes having all 3 of them, like, or really it's just like Deuce. I think he just like he's not quite. There's such an age gap because I think her youngest is like 3 or 4, so like they're comfortable to just kind of like chill and hang and like lay in the dog beds or whatever. And Deuce sometimes is just not for it and just wants to play constantly and have to try and train him not to jump in her garden and stuff like that because he's been doing that. And obviously, we can't have that come springtime. So it's a little bit of suit making and dog training, I guess. But it's going okay. It's going all right.
Yeah. That's fun though.
Yeah. How was your guys' New Year? Did you guys do anything special, or is it the typical over 30-year-old stay inside, do nothing New Year?
Stayed inside and pretty much did nothing, which was so nice. We just kind of relaxed in the house, and I think we barely made it like just over midnight. We're like, all right, we're bowing out now.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right. We made it here, but we're done.
We went out to eat with a couple friends. It was like an early dinner though. It was like 5:30. So we were out till like 7:30, and then that was it. We just hung out for the night.
Nice.
So,
At least you did
it was
something.
nice. Yeah, it was busy with like traveling, like us going to Canada and then holidays right after that, and we were just ready to kind of have nothing to do. So
Cannot blame you there. I definitely feel like these are, at least for the next like month or two, like enjoy the slowness and enjoy the kind of, you know, just easiness of how things are right now, because I'm sure it's going to pick up once the season starts. And I don't know, spring anyways, I feel like is always a time to like, you know, feel like you have to like be up and doing things and going out and seeing people and socializing and all of that. And so yeah, it was definitely nice. We also had a night in for New Year's unexpectedly. We were supposed to go out to a New Year's Eve party down in Massachusetts. Long and short, just having car problems, didn't work out. So we ended up staying home, but turned out to be an unexpected, nice, quiet evening. And yeah, it was kind of one of those moments of like, you know what, kind of happy like we get to stay in, and we've been social so much of 2025 that it's kind of nice to end 2025 on like a quiet note and you know, kind of not be so like social and out there. But yeah, it'll be good though as the year goes on. But one thing I did have something that I wanted to kind of open up conversation about, and it's been, I don't know when it actually kind of happened, I guess, but we're late to the discussion party, but I don't know if you guys saw the whole backlash with Justin Jacoby and like the
Yes.
coaching and taking a break from coaching around like the holidays or whatever to like reset and what
Yeah.
have you, like time off like a regular job or whatever. So it's a pretty much like I never saw like the actual, I think, initial podcast that Justin did where just like a regular fucking podcast, just like talking. And he had made mention that he takes, I think, like 2 weeks off around the holidays. And pretty much, I guess, like people, I assume majority of the people that are in our industry are not bashing him, but it's people that obviously don't fucking understand outside the industry that are throwing around like all of this hateful stuff about like, you know, these people pay you, like, you know, how can you take time off and, you know, you don't deserve time off, or maybe not like outright saying that, but pretty much alluding to that, you know.
Or you need to be available for your athletes and your clientele 24/7, 360.
Right.
Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to, you know, I wish we had the other girls' opinions too, because I know Jasmine is coached by Jacoby.
Chris is coached by Jacoby as well.
Yeah, and Chris too, yeah. And I know the guys podcast kind of chatted about this too last time, but yeah, just kind of get your guys' opinions, especially Alyssa, where you do coaching. You know, like what your guys' thoughts are on. Obviously, like it would be different if it was on the whim and saying like, oh, hey, by the way, like I'm going to be gone for the next 2 weeks. But obviously if it's like a pre-discussed or pre-disclosed, like, hey, just so you know, around this time, I usually take a week off or time off, whatever it is. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
For me personally, I say take the time off. I mean, even whenever I was coaching a lot more clients and had a bigger like repertoire, I had like a firm cutoff time as far as like when check-ins could be sent and when they would get a response, or if they were sent like on the wrong date, they would be responded to on their next check-in date. Like they're set up that way for a reason. Taking the time off, it's just like if you own a business, you're going to take the time off. Everyone needs that time off, or you're going to go crazy. You're going to lose that drive and that spark for it. And, you know, the time that he puts into his athletes, whenever he's on the ball and he's not taking those 2 weeks off, they're available for him, or they're available to him 24/7. Like he's constantly answering their calls, their text messages, doesn't matter what it is, DMs. So I think he has every right to take that 2 weeks off. I don't think you owe your athletes anything like that. And for the most part, even the athletes that you would still consider in a prep, which no one really is in a prep at that point in time, there's no shows preluding at that point in time. He's still answering messages for those clientele. Absolutely. Not just like cut off, phone in a box, like laptop in a box, not talking to anyone. So I think there was a lot of just over the top misfire from a lot of people that really don't understand how the coaching industry works or how even a job works. Like you're allotted 40 hours, even at a corporate job. Like myself, I get 40 hours of PTO at the start of every year and 40 hours of sick time. You're telling me like I'm not owed that even though I'm on salary?
Yeah.
I will fight you on it.
I agree. I mean, I do coaching because I have a full-time job as well. So I just take like a few clients here and there. So it's not really like as relevant for me, but like I know Ben, like when we went to Canada, like he let his clients all know ahead of time, like we're gonna be skipping a week of check-ins, you know, like he like let them know what was going on. But like Ashlyn said, like his phone wasn't in a box. It was like if there was really something that they needed, like he still checked it and like would respond if needed. But for the most part, they knew like what was going on and not to really, you know, bother him if it wasn't like necessary. So yeah, I think it's definitely deserved that, you know, it's not just like that somebody should be at your beck and call every moment, like just because you're their coach. And like Ashlyn said too, like during that time, most people aren't in preps. A lot of people are not even really following their program anyways, completely because it's the holidays. So a lot of people are like doing their own thing regardless, and they're not really like on the ball with their program. So yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think it's crazy too to like, without fully understanding somebody's workload and schedule. And, like we've been saying, I'm sure if he has a fucking top athlete in the Arnold that's in, 7, 8 weeks or whatever,
Right.
he's not going to be like, oh, sorry, like I'm not going to, check in with you over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure there are certain people that obviously have his attention if they're in a prep, and I don't know. I just think it's crazy for people to kind of put someone like him in a box who has like proven and like grown his coaching over the last 2 3 4 or so years, that at least I've been following him and kind of watching him grow and expand and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, like for someone of like his caliber of coaching with how many athletes he has on, like you were saying, Ashlyn, you don't not get burnt out from this. You know what I mean? Like if you're competing in the sport, you're coaching in the sport, if you have clients that you train in person, like it's fully like all consuming 24/7, 365. So to tell somebody that they can't take 2 weeks off during holidays when that coach is likely telling you to take 2 weeks off, or like, hey, things are pretty loose around like the meal plan or whatever, enjoy some meals, whatever it is. I am very adamant and sure to like set those expectations for my clients as well around that time of year of, again, unless we're like, I don't know, if somebody was in a prep for nationals, I guess like Thanksgiving would be a different story, but yeah, like enjoy, like this is the time to like rest and digest. You know what I mean? Like this is not the time to like balls to the wall, everything needs to be perfect 100%. Like and I always like say, like, if that's how you prefer to do your stuff, like by all means, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know what my expectations are. Do you guys have like a set of expectations that you set with your clients prior to them onboarding with you? Or is it kind of like as we go and the questions come up, you're laying it out? Or do you have kind of like here's how things are done, here's what you can expect week to week, so on and so forth?
Kind of a mixture of both. There's like a guideline of expectations of when check-ins are supposed to be sent, the time cadence on when a response is allotted, and even like a little like disclaimer, like, hey, if you don't hear from me within the first 48 hours, just shoot me another message, shoot me a text, be like, hey, check-in, so they can pop up back at the top or whatever the case may be. But obviously, like questions come along the way as far as like how to send check-ins. Like there's always people that ask those questions, but
right.
I feel like, especially like you had mentioned, having clients going to the Arnold in 7-8 weeks, I feel like you've made it to the Arnold not by having a constant babysitter at your beck and call, and like if you take 2 weeks to maintain your shit in that time frame, you're probably not at the Arnold anyways.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that is a very good point. Yeah. And like that's the thing too, like if I don't know, I always have like a 24 to 36 hour window in getting back to check-ins unless otherwise obviously stated previously for whatever reason. But it's like until I send you a response that perhaps maybe has changes in them, like it's the same plan as per usual. You know what I mean? Like just following the same shit. I think for a lot of people, especially who are newer to bodybuilding and just like online coaching in general, with the premise of competitive bodybuilding, or maybe even not competitive bodybuilding, just in general with online coaching, just kind of assume that their payment reflects changes in their plans. And it's like, that's not the correlation. You know what I mean? Like the payment is to have me at your service and to, troubleshoot certain things with you if things are kind of coming along, or obviously we have an ultimate goal, whether that's to get it to the stage or to get into a certain like body composition or whatever. Like that's essentially like you're just paying for those services. You're not paying for 4 changes each month to your plans, and I think if people can kind of just like wrap their heads around that aspect, and then also just like it's not, I don't know, I guess it is like broken down into like a monthly payment, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not getting my month's worth of my payment. I don't know, I feel like if people are kind of like that nitpicky about it, then like you're not, I don't know, you're not somebody that's in the right space to be coached, I guess. You know what I mean? If it's going to get down to kind of like the nitty and the gritty like that, because at the end of the day, I'm sure that's where it all comes from. Like, oh, these people pay you, so like they deserve to have your services whenever they need it. And I don't know. I do think it all just kind of boils down to just like with any given job, you're going to have some sort of time off or time away or set hours to which you are responding to clients. And like we all at this point, I think we know people like Justin Jacoby, I'm sure fucking answering check-ins at like 3:00 in the morning, 4:00 in the morning, fucking up until midnight, going over plans and doing all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I think like the real unfortunate like detriment to that is like the comment that he made, like, I'm just not going to go on fucking podcasts anymore. Like, I'm just not going to do it and put myself out there, you know, to essentially be ridiculed and my things being pulled apart out of context and things like that. And I do think that is like an unfortunate, I don't know, consequence for people in the industry that are trying to learn things from people like Justin Jacoby, who have been in this and been coaching and actually know what they're doing, who are willingly wanting to provide this information for free 99, by the way, people. Like, you know, none of
Yeah.
us out here are charging for a podcast.
So was this like were all these comments on like the YouTube like podcast channel
Yeah,
or
I think it
something?
was.
Okay.
And then just like clips, I think obviously like surfacing of like, here's the clip that was in reference or
Oh, the
Yeah.
stitches to it, like, oh, and here's what I think, where they're voicing their
Okay.
unnecessary
Yeah.
shit in the background of the video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we also live in the era of cancel culture. So
yeah.
find one
Yeah.
person that doesn't like you or like what you have to say, they're going to try and promote that like wildfire.
Which is so crazy, right? Like, I feel like we're in such a weird, like, I don't know what the word is, I guess, but yeah, where it's like we're in this like mentality of like, no, support each other and build everyone up, and you know, like let's
not
do
something I
what
agree
we
with
can
or
with this
like.
guy. Yeah, but then also, yeah, exactly. If somebody doesn't, you know, have the same opinions as I do, then it's just it's like you're, you know, you're a shit person or you're I don't know, like you're not as intelligent as you think you are because, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. I feel like not just in bodybuilding in general, but in just the day-to-day in life, people weirdly are positive while also being like somewhat negative, and it's just
Yeah.
I don't know, very weird space to be in, I guess, coaching wise. And I don't know,
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's shitty too because it makes people like Michael not necessarily want to try and pursue this further to make it like a business like Justin Jacoby or something like that. And he kind of deals with it in little, I guess, like microaggressions in like our small, you know, coaching community that we have up here. And I don't know. Again, I think it's a really weird space for social media where we have so much information that's out there where these new timers or these people that are seeking coaching, like they think they have all the information or they can get all the information. So then it's becomes this like almost testing the knowledge of the coach that you're trying to ask to work with. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I heard this and this and I heard that and that. And it's just like, dude, like if you don't want my, you know, like expertise and in my knowledge or what have you, and you just want to go based off of like these little snippets and clips that you hear online or on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, or what you can look up on ChatGPT, then like just let's go have that, you know, be your coach or whatever. You know, it's just I feel like a lot of the times it can get so frustrating to like start with somebody for them to not follow you, question everything that you're doing. You know, you feel like you waste your time a lot, and I can see how it can get very like, why the fuck am I doing this? You know?
And coaching is such a weird thing too, because it's like there's no standards either to be a coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there's not like a set education or something like that that you need to be able to become an online bodybuilding coach or lifestyle coach or whatever.
Just slap it in your bio.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of like different mentorships that you can do, things like that. But like I don't know. Like you said, there's so much information out there, and every coach has a different method, different knowledge, things like that. And
Thinks theirs is better than the
I
rest.
think everybody's just confused, even like the consumers or like you know, potential clients on like what they're even looking for.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's very true. And like I know that there is the whole like, you know, I don't need to be shopped around with other coaches. You either like what I do, you see what I do, and you sign on with me, or you don't. And it's like, I see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Especially as somebody who is just entering this space and really has no idea. Like I remember like first starting and kind of like how like distinctly remembering like I don't have anybody that does this on Instagram. You know what I mean? I don't follow anybody. Like I'm not like, I haven't been like really watching somebody for an extended period of time to kind of get a grasp of like what I'm doing. So I can understand wanting to kind of make sure that you are putting your investment, your money into like the right hands. And, but at the same time, it's also like, if this is a coach that you've seen that has had a good reputation and has good athletes, good quality athletes, you know, and has proven themselves in those ways, it's like, no coach, I guess, necessarily owes you the 20 questions initially of like, you know, how they do things or how they coach or whatever. You kind of get like the basic, here's what I do, here's what you can expect from me, you know, maybe a question or two more. But yeah, I don't know. I think it goes both ways of like almost expecting too much out of like an online coach as an adult, you know, versus like, I don't know. I don't know what it'd be versus, but like, yeah, I feel like at the end of the day,
I
there's a
agree.
lot
I
of
feel like
confusion.
I just thought of kind of like an analogy that would go with this. Like, say I need my air conditioning in my house fixed. It would be like me looking up everything online, trying to become an expert with
Yeah.
like air conditioning. And then
Yeah.
as I'm trying to hire somebody, asking them like 100 questions before I
Yeah.
let them fix my AC.
Yeah. Well,
So
wait, well,
it's
what
kind
about
of,
this? Do you
yeah.
check this?
And it's
Do you
like,
check for
I
that?
know nothing about air conditioning other than what I think I've researched online. So yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely. And yeah, you really put that with anything, right? Like building a house or fucking, like, I don't know how to build a house. You know, I'm not going to be sitting
just
here while the
trust.
contractors are
Yeah.
working. Like, wait, why are you putting that beam there? Is that beam supposed to go there? You
Right.
know? Like,
Yeah. You just trust that like who you hired is, you know,
yeah.
they know what they're doing because that's the job they do. So
And I will definitely always say, like, obviously, with the exception of the people that are kind of like the initial clients when you're first starting coaching, like a lot of the times people come to you because they've heard from word of mouth that like, hey, Shay's the person to go to. Hey, Alyssa, Ashlyn, like that's a girl that you want to go see for coaching because of XYZ, you know? So it's like, again, at the end of the day, like we have our resumes on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to ask for it. You don't have to search too deep for it. Like our resumes are sitting right there as coaches on our Instagrams, you know? So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, like you look for the coach that you're trying to, that best meets the goals that you're trying to, you know, shoot for. And if it works out, it works out and you're with that coach for an extended period of time, that's awesome. If it doesn't, then it's like, hey, sorry, like things aren't working out or whatever it is, you know, if the relationship isn't there, that's fine. You know, you can't always expect to fully be the first coach that you start with, be the perfect coach for you and this, that, and the other. But another kind of like somewhat transitions into this too. Another topic I wanted to chat about. Again, I feel like I'm like stealing all the topics from the guys chat, but they're valid topics and I really enjoy the discussion about them. But when it comes to AI, AI and coaching and kind of where we see that going over the next like 5 or 10 years. I know that there is kind of the, at least I think with a lot of people our ages, you know, we much prefer that human contact, like that person on the other end of the line, you know, kind of being the coach, obviously. But perhaps that younger generation, you know, we're talking like the 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are growing up with AI and all this technology and stuff, you know, do they really care for that personalized interaction? You know what I mean? Like, essentially, my question is, do you think that AI can replace bodybuilding coaching or coaching, online coaching, over the next 5 or 10 years?
Not a chance.
Why or why not?
So I was actually talking with Jessica Qualic about this, and I
Cool.
guess there's a kid in her area that is entirely prepping with Chat GPT.
oh my gosh.
And looks exactly like you think you would prepping with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So like, especially with pictures, like you're not really that you're just sending into an AI generator. Like you're not really they can't really break down how you respond to your diet and how your body
Yeah.
is responding to said diet versus like
Yeah.
simple carbs, complex carb. Like there's so many varying factors that ChatGPT or any AI model is not gonna catch on to, especially at a
Mhm.
personal and like a physiological level.
Mhm.
And you're gonna run into just a lot of shortcomings in that matter, where there's not gonna be nearly like half of the physiques that we see or have seen on stage looking like that. Like, I mean, guys back in the day would meet up and write everything down on a notebook and
Yeah.
carry that on until they met up again and trained together again or did whatever again. But like even now, like it was an advancement to be able to use like Excel modules to count calories, and that was like
Yeah.
for coaching 10 years ago. But AI just it takes a lot of what the eye catches out of it, especially at a
Yeah.
bodybuilding, because there's going to be so many changes that are
Yep.
going to be happening down to the hour the closer you
Mhm.
get out to that show. And like, I could remember watching myself like down 2 liters of water with, a quarter or like 2 grams of sodium and watching how that changed within 2 hours. And
Yeah.
he isn't going to tell me to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I also think like especially again, if we're kind of focusing more on the younger generation, and the younger crowd, they're not going to necessarily ask the proper questions. So obviously, like right now, ChatGPT or any AI module is like algorithm based, right? So it's just giving out information based on what it can search and what it can find, and it's just essentially doing your Google search faster than you can, right?
Yep,
Like it's
exactly.
providing you
Macro
with
search.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, of course, if you ask her a question in a certain way of like, oh man, I've been feeling really flat for the last 3, 4 days, and this is what my diet looks like right now. What do you think I should do? Oh yes, I think you should add in, whatever carbs and blah 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 blah. Like it's gonna give you the essentially that you're
Well, the
looking
module's made to agree with you as well, especially at
right.
ChatGPT. It's made so
Yep.
if you're telling it, I feel flat, I feel this, I feel that. Well, you need the extra carbs.
Yeah.
You need this. You need the rest. Like, it's
Yeah.
not going to
Exactly.
actually like toughen the fuck up and do your job.
Yep.
Like I think it's one thing to kind of use it as like again, kind of like how I mentioned, like the stuff that you're gonna go ahead and search on Google, like you can't search Google like, "Hey, I'm flat and I'm doing a bodybuilding show." You know what I mean? But like, "Hey, I'm experiencing some stomach issues and I've been taking creatine HCl. What's the difference between creatine HCl and creatine monohydrate or hydrochloride versus monohydrate?" You know what I mean? Like kind of asking it very like tell me the comparison between these two supplements or
Yeah.
I don't know, something that's more it doesn't take like what you're saying, Ashley, like someone's actual experience and anecdotal evidence and, just
Right.
human eyes, you know what I mean, to kind of catch some of these things. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna try and rephrase my question. So yes, that answers it to AI as it is today. But we know, like you just said, Ashlyn, 10 years ago, they were using fucking Excel spreadsheets to pop out or generate like calorie counters or macro counters or whatever. And look at where we are 10 years later. So 10 years from now, with what progress AI and technology and like that, all of that can make, what if they do end up coming up with some sort of ability to like body scan or get like actual detailed, like, oh, your body fat percentage is XYZ based on like, you know what I mean? Or like if you're able to input data points that, I don't know. I guess my question is more or less like not necessarily AI now, but with the potential of where AI can go in 5 or 10 years.
If it were connected to a body tracker or like a bio tracker in a sense, like it can draw blood and it can tell you like what blood sugar
Mm-hmm.
you're at, how your body is
Mm-hmm.
responding to all like the food sources, like, oh, I'm feeling lethargic and tired after each meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can do that maybe, but I
Yeah.
think module is also going to have to do a lot of bio tracking
Mm-hmm.
beforehand in order to do it successfully.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely would think like it's not something that you can necessarily just like hop in, start using for prep on day one. Like it would probably have to be something that you have worked with this this module or whatever for an extended period of time, so it can collect the data just like we do as coaches, collect the data, understand the trends and things like that. That'd be pretty freaking sick though, if there was some way technology advanced to the point where like we can just get blood work done via a blood sample to our phone or whatever. I don't know what the hell that would be or how that could be implemented, but
a little fingerprint, like scan.
yeah, like a little fingerprint or something. That would be pretty cool. But
maybe one day. I've seen enough Black Mirror episodes to believe it's possible.
Yeah. I still feel like it would be something like secondary, the AI, like even in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like we said, like even if it could track all of those things, I still think you need that human connection.
Yeah.
When you're like prepping for a bodybuilding
maybe as like
show.
a tool, just like an tool.
Maybe if somebody is just looking to like lose some body fat, like recomp, something like that, maybe like you can get away with it just with like AI. But I think for bodybuilding specifically, it's still going to be important to have a coach. At least, I don't know. That's what I think. Because I know like my coach, and not all coaches do this, but he's local. So like we'll train with him and he can like correct certain things with form or really like optimize, certain movements,
make slight
and things like that. Like, that, or like pose with us, or like just things that like AI is not going to be able to keep up with, like all the things that a coach, like we were even talking about, like Jacoby or like my coach or coaches that are like super involved with their clients are it's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. So. I mean, I definitely agree that I personally, I prefer that, again, that human interaction and knowing that there's an actual person with emotion and, a functioning human brain on the other end. But then like, I also think of people like my son, right? He's 11 and I know he would much rather order his food from DoorDash versus going into the store, talking to a person, placing his order and picking it up, so I guess I more or less think of like those generations coming up that, I mean, I don't know, again, with all of our delivery apps where you literally are cutting out entirely that human interaction. I think it slowly becomes the norm. But yeah, I mean, obviously we have no idea where like AI and that kind of technology is going to go in the future. But I always just kind of, especially where we're obviously seeing it prominently being used in the industry, and we've got kids that are using it to prep themselves and give them drug protocols and this, that, and the other, like, I don't know what's next, like how much further does it go, Yeah, crazy.
It's scary.
It is really scary. Like, I don't know, or I don't know why. Do you guys like ever get into the conspiracies of like Hollywood or whatever's been like trying to like drop these eggs this entire time of like letting us, like we're just like pretty much slowly mentally preparing you for what is the actual reality of the world and life and whatever. Like the Simpsons and shit.
Where it just ends up like taking over and we all perish at the end.
Like, I don't know why.
Demise.
Gosh.
It's like why we have all these movies that talk about aliens taking over and you give too much power to technology. What happens? Like, why do we continue to pursue it?
Well, iRobot came out with Will Smith like 2 decades ago.
I know.
iRobot now exists as a company for the Roomba vacuum. If you didn't know, it's iRobot.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Oh my gosh.
And then has like the AI modules to plan like the routes of your house via Wi-Fi and like.
I don't know if I like that.
Now you've got this robot, planning its routes in your house. Like, why? Why you got to know where you're going, buddy? Just run to a wall, turn around, you'll be fine.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's kind of.
And it's iRobot. So give it 10 years, 15 years, and we'll have like, that little robot that Tesla's created now, but in iRobot form, walking around our house, helping us with house chores and locking us in our pantry, turning red, just splashing.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that? I think that's what you're talking about, Ashlyn. It's like a $40,000.
And it's like a maid technically, but no. And like you see people buying them and how they're like glitching, and one of them like started running at him full speed, and like he just like, kept pushing it over. But
wait, that's for real? That really happened?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the little Tesla robot.
So that's
Wow.
like the thing too, right? I'm not going to be the person to purchase the first issue or the first rollout of any product. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to let them at least get through, freaking version
File
1.
series.
Yeah, exactly. Before I decide to purchase something, especially something that has the ability to probably kill me, in
Yeah.
my sleep.
Well, that's what I always do with like the iPhones because I have an update coming out soon, and I always like wait to see when the
Mhm.
model comes
Yep.
out, what updates or how they're pulling it back and recalling it. Because 9 times out of 10, the first model is going to like blow up in your hands. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually
And
wait too. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really
Dude,
have
I
to.
Yeah.
hate updating my phone. It's the worst fucking thing. Like, as soon as
too.
I get used to like how my photos are laid out or how my mail looks or whatever, all of a sudden my phone switches it up and doesn't look the same. And now I feel like I understand why these old people are like, I don't fucking care. I
I
can't
don't
understand
care now.
it.
Give me my mic, like my Motorola Razor.
Yeah, for real, honestly. Yeah, we had to set up Michael's parents' new TV for them. And honestly, dude, though, they're like kind of making this shit a little too fucking complicated for television. Like, I shouldn't have to create a Samsung account to be
Oh
able to add the certain things
Yeah.
to the home screen or to even program the TV in the way that I need it to be programmed. Like,
it won't
these
even
old
work.
people
It's
don't
not
want to
connected to
deal with
Wi-Fi.
that.
Mhm.
No.
They're like 77 and 87. They shouldn't have to be trying to figure out how
Aw.
to fucking put account names in and like sign. They should just be able to turn on the fucking TV,
I
go
know.
to the guide, and be able to flip to the station they want.
A couple years ago, when I was visiting my grandfather in Texas. Like me and Chris drove over there. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He is just sitting on his couch, staring up at the ceiling in silence because he could not get his TV work or to connect to the Wi-Fi at all. So Chris and I are like going through all the motions. He somehow unplugged the Ethernet cable that his like
Oh my
TV smart box was plugged into, so it was just entirely off. We got it all
God.
plugged in. He's like, "Oh, thank God! I've been dealing with that for 2 days now."
Oh
2
no.
days? You just been sitting in like the silence by yourself, like, oh,
Dude, that's what
That
I'm
sucks.
saying. And like,
anyone.
That would be
are
me now
we?
though. Seriously. Like I have no freaking clue.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
it's Ben's job. Like I'm like, I don't know. Cause whenever we hook up, like if we watch like the Olympia, and we buy it on the, you buy it and then you can hook it up
Yes.
to the TV to watch from there.
Yes.
Like it
Oh yeah,
projects on the TV. No clue. Like,
no clue.
yeah, I don't know how to do any of that. I don't even like to like use the TV really. So if we're gonna like sit down and watch something, I just hand him the remote. I'm like, you do it.
That's actually hilarious because I
Yeah.
I am that person in my house of like I hook up our computer to the TV so we can watch the Olympia and the Arnold and shit like that. But that's becoming the extent of it. Usually I'm the person that can like somehow like plug shit in, unplug shit, make it work, somehow find a way to like get it to work. But now I think it's even like exceeding beyond what I know how to do.
Yeah.
And then yes, to your point of like the remote, I'm just like, here, you take it. If I'm not by myself, like, and we're watching something together, here, you take the remote. It's all you. It's all you.
Yep.
Oh, see, that's usually me doing the planning behind that because, like,
Really? Oh
Chris,
God,
he'll he'll put on like some 80s or 90s like action flick that no one's ever seen nor heard of, but it's got Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. So we're gonna watch this.
Yeah.
You can tell by the first 5 minutes of the movie that I'm not gonna watch this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just put my phone or I'm gonna put my headphones and do something else because I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
So now he's
Yeah,
just like,
dude.
"Well, I put on something, it's shitty, so you put it on."
Yeah, for Michael, it'll usually be if that's like ever the case, it's usually something fishing related on YouTube or
no.
whatever. But then like he'll do these things where like he'll and he says he does it like I would do it anyways if you weren't here. It doesn't matter. But like he'll outwardly vocalize like comments like, "Oh man, like that was great." Like almost like trying to get me to like engage and like watch what he's watching. And it's just like, "Oh man, that was
See
great.
that?
Oh, man, look at that 5 pound." Like just yeah. And I'm like,
That's
I'm not
You're like
hilarious.
veering
cool.
the corner, headphones in, like,
Yeah.
"Did you see that?" And like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, and I'll just be like on my phone and yeah, he'll be annoyed that I'm on my phone and not paying attention. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
I
Yeah.
thought
I'm
this was
not.
supposed to be spending time together
Yeah. We are. We're close. We're close physically together.
physically.
Yeah.
Here.
Are you guys do you have certain shows that you watch together? Like you guys on any shows with your hubs?
Not at the moment. Usually he and I don't do shows, but I guess we just kind of finished the Stranger Things because
Yeah,
the whole series just ended.
we
So
did too. Yeah,
that was kind of our little.
Crazy.
yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Spoiler alerts potentially for nobody that's finished the series, although I feel like everybody's finished the series at this point. But
Yeah.
what were your guys' thoughts on that?
I thought they kind of like just made an ending to the series to make an ending. It wasn't
Yeah.
really what the series deserved. And like I understand Millie Bobby Brown just became a mom and she kind of like declared she was done with acting and she was going to move off and do her own thing, which kudos to
I get
her. But yeah, they were like, all right, then we're done. We're ending it right here and there. You can portray the ending how you want.
Yeah.
That's that. And then there was just
Yeah.
45 minutes of them like leading up to this grand tale of her.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little like it got so far like entangled into it, and then it was like, all right, we don't even know.
Now we need to
how wrap
unravel
this up,
everything.
so we just need to like do something. So it was a little like out. I mean, obviously it's Stranger Things, so I was gonna say it was a little out there for me, but I know.
But even for that, it
way,
was.
but it was just it didn't quite like
It didn't fit, I felt like.
Yeah.
And then especially like the final battle, I kind of expected it to be a little more than just this like, I don't know, fighting this huge sand spider for like 5 minutes and then you do it and then it's like done, you know. With fire, you know what I mean? Like you just had a bunch of fire lances and that's how you killed it, you know. I don't know. I guess I was expecting a little bit more from that. And then just kind of like all of the partially unnecessary, like super extended monologues. Like I feel like not everybody had to have this like super in-depth, like, oh no, my love for you, and you know, like, oh, I'm gay, and like everybody knew that was the case. You know, obviously he had to kind of like come out to his friends at some point and just kind of like make it like known to everybody, I guess. But
yeah,
and then just Steve or not Steve, what's his face and Jonathan, and Nancy. What was that all about? You know, and I don't know. I definitely think they were trying to, like you said, it was weird. I feel like they extended that series, the season 5 up until this like finale, and like the finale could have been like the entire series. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they kind of just stretched it out longer than it necessarily had to be. But I guess like all in all, it's nice to finally like, all right, it's done. There's no questioning about it. There's no more like romanticizing about it. And, you know, we've been watching it for the last freaking 10 years, which is insane to think. I've seen like interviews recently of them, obviously, like way back in like 2016, 2017. And like, it's crazy seeing like how actual children like they were.
Yeah.
You know,
and we've literally watched them grow up through the
I know.
series.
That's nuts.
Which makes it even worse because then you just see like the commentary that's made about literal children as like, oh, they've had work done. Like, ma'am, she's 15. No,
she went from fucking 10 years old to 22 years old. Like,
there's gonna be a
absolutely look and sound different.
Perfect is gonna go like this to this, you know, like that just happens.
You're gonna fill out features are like, ma'am.
Yeah. I think like kind of not to bring it back to like the whole like AI and technology and stuff like that. Like I do think like it's hard to know like what's what these days. Like I find myself sometimes like still being like, is that it?
Is this real?
Yes.
You know, is this cake? You know, is it cake or is it real? Like I feel like we're living in that. Like, is this real or is it not? We don't know.
And it makes you old apparently if you can't tell the difference.
No, it doesn't. It actually just means that technology is really good and they're getting better at AI. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about all of that, I guess. Like it honestly, like it makes it so disappointing because Michael and I will like pretty much like send each other shits like throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, when we're smoking, like hanging out and talking stuff, like we'll go through and watch some of like the funny shit we send back and forth. And like how many times like we realize like, damn, like that's not actually real. AI. Like, it kind of takes away from like, I don't know, I guess like the comedy in it or the the seriousness in it or whatever emotion was supposed to be there. I don't know. It's just like, oh, okay, well, it was just faked, so it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Sucks. But crazy that the first show of the year is like 7 weeks away. The Arnold's only 7 weeks away. This is nuts.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to the Arnold?
I wish we were. We really wanted to try and go
Yes.
this year.
I think Chris might be going just because with his work, he works for High Tech. I think he now has Ohio as part of his territory.
Oh, cool.
He might be going, but
Good for
I
him.
will not be. That is like too close quarters for I'm getting a breast augmentation done like a week before, so that would not
Oh,
be
yay.
ideal. I know. I finally like decided to pull the trigger on it after that.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I think I was sitting next to Shay on the couch,
Yeah.
like booking my consultation whenever we were in Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. And they called me
Yeah.
and booked it and went and did my consultation. The guy that I'm having do mine, he's actually done 2 friends of mine in this area, and both competitors as well. So, I mean,
Perfect.
obviously, as a competitor, I feel like there's multiple ways a breast augmentation can turn out, and obviously,
Mhm.
one way, not all of the other ways that it could possibly
Yeah.
get. But he was really like forthright with answering all of my questions, especially like
Mhm.
being a fitness competitor. I was like, this is what I don't want. Here are my
Mhm.
pictures of no-nos, and here's my
Yeah.
yes order. So
Yeah.
I was able to take all of that into consideration. But speaking of technology, did you know they can do 3D scans and show you what it'll look like depending on the CCs you go with via picture?
No.
Yeah. So you do like 3 different pictures, like one from each side and then like the
Yep.
frontward facing one. And it does a 3D scan, and your doctor is able to draw up like based on like 3 different CCs on like your pocket size, what options you can go with to kind of see
Wow.
what you want to do. And I was like, and it's so funny because it's a 3D scan too. You can like turn it in circles. You can see it from below. You can see
Yeah.
it directly
Like,
above.
oh my
You can see it from the
gosh.
side. And it looks like the best way I can put it is like Madonna's like turbo, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
first. I was like, this is hilarious. I'm just sitting there like spinning myself in a circle.
That's
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh.
What
That
does
is
Chris gonna
wild.
see when he looks up? You
It's
know?
literally, I was like, what does it look like from below? And I was like, oh my God, weird.
That's
I
hilarious.
love it.
Yeah, that
Good
was
for you.
I was like, your 3D simulation is. I was like, a 3D simulation. Like,
Yeah, right.
That's
You sold
crazy.
me.
Chrysalix. I guess you can also
Your
buy them yourself too and try them out.
oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Not that I need that, but your friends that are local, how long has it been since they had the surgery?
For Siobhan, I think it's been like almost 10 years, 8
Oh,
years.
dope.
10
Okay,
years.
cool.
Yeah,
So you have
hers
some
is
longevity
great.
there. Okay, cool.
The other one, I think it's been about 6 years for hers, and hers like looked perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
I decided for me, just because like with more chest muscle, I don't want to risk any animation deformity. I always see the women that get on stage and they look great. They hit a front relaxed and the boobs go to the lats,
Yep.
or they go to like the collar.
Yeah.
So I'm doing
So
subglandular over submuscular for that reason.
Oh, I've
Right.
never heard of that. What did
Yeah,
you
so-
subglandular?
Yeah, so subglandular, instead of going like where it's behind the muscle, it's just directly on top of the muscle.
Okay.
Way less shifting. I have a friend of mine, her name is Heather. She used to do women's bodybuilding and is now like downsizing to wellness, but she had hers submuscular, got them redone to subglandular, and it was in the exact same CC size. And one, because they're not being pressed down behind the muscles, they look 10 times bigger with the same CC volume, like drastic difference. You also don't have the chances of them like doing all of this business.
Yeah.
And your chest muscles move because they're right on top of it. So
Yeah. Okay.
But then isn't this where, and I just asked because I literally have no idea. I don't do research into this. I don't look into this or anything like that. Is that not where if you were to get really lean, you can actually start to see like the ridges of the silicone or?
yes and no. So it kind of depends on the type of implant that you get. With silicone, you're way less likely to see rippling on the surface as if you were to get like saline, just because saline, in fact, it's going to move like a waterbed, for lack of better
Right.
terms. But
Yeah,
with silicone and depending on like the type of gel, they stay
Yeah.
pretty. Now, with me being like leaner and having leaner tissue, I mean, it's probably going to be a little more apparent anyways. But
sure.
I'm at the point like I've waited 31 years to have boobs and I've never had
Yeah.
them. So I'm like, who cares?
This is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
for me.
exactly.
My husband, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, February
Oh, that's
25th.
exciting.
That is the
It
date.
is exciting. What is it, February what?
February 25th.
25th. Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. About a month,
Yeah.
about, was that 4 weeks, 5 weeks? About 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks.
I think
It'll go by. It'll
Oh
go
my
by so
God, yeah.
fast.
Days are moving. Yeah, we're at 6 weeks. So
Is there anything you have to do to like prep for this or prepare for surgery or something they tell you like, hey, like the week of surgery, don't do XYZ or
yeah, just the week before, no drinking, no smoking weed. So I'll be cutting that entirely. Yeah, I know. I'm like, what do
you
mean? I know.
not smoke weed the week of the surgery, dude. Oh my
Well,
God.
to be fair, Chris and I are now at a week of not vaping. So, and I am a
Oh,
person who
good
has
job.
ingested some form of nicotine for 17 years. So this has been like one, very hard for me, but two, like
Yeah.
I finally feel like I'm free of something that I've literally been like doing for
Oh
17
yeah.
years. So,
That's
like
good.
we're a week clean of that, and that was going to be something. Yes, that's something I was going to have to quit anyway, just because with nicotine like that and vaping in general, that just kind of reduces blood flow. It kind of causes vasoconstriction, limits healing time.
Mhm.
I'm
For
gonna
sure
be
with your feet and
peptide
stuff like that is important.
yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
and the main thing too is going to be getting just like lymphatic drainage massages. I won't be doing a whole lot of chest or like shoulder exercises leading up to, just because I don't want that tissue to be tight going into the surgery.
Inflamed,
Yeah, and then you have the surgery and it's just tight tissue on top of more tight tissue and trauma.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be getting a bunch of massages done just to kind of like open everything back up. Even though we're
Nice.
not doing anything submuscular, it'll still be nice because regardless, it's going to feel tight across my chest for the first couple of weeks anyways.
Yeah.
Just to kind of help myself ease into that. But I've had one girl, she worked as a nurse at a plastic surgeon's office, and she recommended a muscle relaxer called Flexeril to start beforehand, and it's like way less severe than like a traditional opioid. And then it just kind of puts your body into it, so you're already relaxed going into the surgery, and then
Nice.
kind of like just helps with the healing and like the less tightness afterwards. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And then recovery wise, is that like a 6-week post-op type recovery or what are they prepared
mostly,
for?
the good thing with subglandular is your recovery time is kind of lessened than you would be going submuscular. With submuscular, they don't want you doing anything in the gym, moving like, or even this for 2
Lifting
months.
plates, I'm sure. Yeah.
I know with subglandular, granted, I won't be the stupid one that's like back in the gym the very next week because it doesn't hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
I've just been told within that first month, kind of avoid a lot of upper body at all.
Yeah.
You can raise your arms above your head after the first couple of weeks once you kind of have your incisions heal and everything. But then after that first month, you can kind of just start gradually easing yourself back into things. Now, I'm not going to obviously go like balls to the wall with training chest or like doing like front delt movements. That won't be in my repertoire anymore, and that hasn't been in my repertoire for quite a while anyways. So
Yeah.
pretty much everything that I'm doing training wise now will kind of lead into that really well. I'll just have to remember to like, instead of leaning into the benches, bracing against them with my forearm.
True.
Separation.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exciting.
I'm
Exciting.
Spicy. I like it.
finally fill out like normal feminine shirts. That was always like my biggest complaint. It was like being bigger. I could fit into like a large shirt. I had no boobs though, so it was just like
See, it's so funny because I've always had the opposite problem with having large breasts. I feel like in the shirts that fit my boobs then just make me look fat because it's sitting where my boobs sit and it's not, you know what I mean, closer to like my stomach or something like that. Yeah. But then obviously it's all about like what fit or style shirt that you're wearing or whatever. But yeah, boobs are something.
Yeah, that'll be new for me, honestly, is getting a bra, like a true like bra size. Cause like
Yeah.
I don't know what bra size. I've worn sports bras for years at this point.
Yeah.
So
I
to
don't blame
have
you
like
though.
oh, you're a 36D, that'll be wild to me.
Yeah, right. Going to
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret and just like, here,
Like,
I got my
you mean these
bras.
bras fit and there's no space here? Like,
Yeah, right.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even
listen,
know.
yeah.
I just know I'm like an A, like
Yeah,
or
exactly.
maybe less
Maybe
than
an
an A. I
A.
don't know.
Yeah.
I know I saw a bra size once that was like barely an A. It was like a double A cup, and I was like, perfect.
Oh, they do make those.
Yeah.
Yeah, double A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're generally in like the training bra section. But you know what?
Oh,
I've got training bra boobs. So
Yep.
that's okay. That's okay.
So funny.
You were made
I
how
heard
you were
someone call them
intended.
fashion boobs, actually. Fashion boobs.
Fashion
I was
boobs.
in tears. Yeah. She was like, y'all are the girls that can wear the cutesy little shirts with no bras, like boobs just sitting there nice and taut. Fashion boobs. She goes, if I do that, they're gonna be looking at my belly button.
That's exactly where they're
I was
going.
just in
Exactly
tears.
where they're going.
Fashion boobs.
That's
Oh, I
hilarious.
love it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
exactly what they are. No, that's funny. Heck yeah. Well, that'll be good because then we have made plans to go down to Chris and Ashland's on, I don't know if we're doing Saturday or Sunday. I guess we have to work that out. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to do a little bodybuilding / like puppy get together. So we'll bring our dog down and hopefully getting Athena and Deuce acquainted, which should be an exciting. Yeah.
That'll be fun. When are you doing that?
So in a couple weeks, so not this weekend, but next weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll get to
I was
train.
gonna say, I actually have a floating holiday that week. So I am taking the 23rd off. So
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'll have the 23rd, 24th, 25th off.
Oh, frick. Well, that works out super perfect then. Yeah, but I imagine we'll train at Olympus or maybe both Olympus and Impact. I don't know, but
Yeah,
Alyssa,
it's down the road from Impact.
you would love this gym called Olympus Gym up in Massachusetts.
Really?
Their leg room with their leg and glute equipment is, at least for us up here in New England, feels pretty prestigious. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited
gym.
in there.
I like the warehouse feel too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that too.
It's a mix of like, wait, what did you say, Ashlyn? You like the atmosphere, the feel of the atmosphere, or
the warehouse kind of atmosphere they have there, especially in the leg room. Like it's very, very open. You have like the nice like turf ground right in the middle. And I like the fact that it was, at least whenever we went, it was freezing in that room. Like there was not a chance you were gonna just like start pouring sweat at any point. It was freezing.
Yeah. No, it was really, really good quality gym. The owner there, Alan, is really a really good dude. They're actually a title sponsor for the NPC Rhode Island Championships that I should be doing in May. And they have offered a free year membership to all the top 5 competitors in their class.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
All of the top 5 competitors. Not even just the winner of your class or the overall winner of a division, like all the top 5 competitors, which I thought was pretty phenomenal. But yeah, so shout out to Olympus Gym in Framingham, Mass. Go check it out if you haven't, because it's fabulous. But yeah, that is unfortunately about the time that I have, because I had to hop off around 6. But cute small little crew we had today, but I think it was good conversation nonetheless.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, our first one back. So
I know. Oh yeah, I guess it is technically for
year.
Oh, I meant to mention, Ashlyn, I know you have just recently joined the podcast, but as of the 13th, so 2 days, it'll be our 1-year podcast anniversary.
Aww.
It's crazy.
Awesome.
1 year.
Love it. Yes.
30 episodes, but that's okay. But 1 year, I feel like is pretty solid. Of, we stuck with it. We just kind of kept going for it, regardless of whether it was doing good or not doing good. And I know it's been a lot of fun.
Carrying on the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm proud of us, because a lot of people start them and they like don't continue doing them, and like we just kept pushing forward, even if we had a few weeks like where we couldn't do it. I mean, it never fell off. So
Justin Shire, date nights are on Saturday. Thank you. No, it's okay. Everybody's got their lives, and you only live
Yeah.
once. Life is short, so do all the things you want to do. But wonderful. Well, I will see you ladies next time. We'll chat, of course, in the chat. But I hope you have a wonderful Sunday night and a good rest of the week.
Yes.
You too.
Ladies, enjoy your week.
Ladies,
Bye, guys.
bye.
Bye.
Love ya.
Bad bitch, I'm a